For this, please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay.
This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. Stalking is a crime. Peeping is a crime. Hacking is a crime. Who invited you to Oklahoma, Mr. Perry? Why are you in Oklahoma at all? Much less every day, all the time for 9 years. You don't even live in Texas anymore, do you? Yeah, the argument has been there is no jurisdiction in any Texas court because Cynthia's been in Oklahoma for 9 years now. She left. I moved twice. If I'm using third person, I'm quoting somebody else. That seems obvious to me, but apparently to some it's not. Mr. Perry, I left Lubbock in 2013 to get away from Charles Perry. I never again wanted to hear what he thinks or how he feels or what he needs. The guy makes my skin crawl. He makes me want to throw up. He's disgusting to me. He's disgusting to everybody. So we get a lot of inside information on his criminal activity that he hid all his life because he disgusts everybody. He's creepy. He's a strange-o. He's sick. He's twisted. And by the way, diagnosed certified mentally ill. He's got Huntington's disease, and we found that out because somebody told us. I'm sick and tired of watching him torment her and bother her and torture her and torment her and torture her and bother her and try to ruin her. I'm tired of it. So make sure she finds out he has Huntington's disease. He does not want her to know. He's sick, he's twisted, and he bothers everybody. So we find out information he doesn't want us to have. Sensitive information you don't want getting out. We got a bunch of it. You're not going to get a date with me. I don't go out with peeping toms. That alone is enough to make you repulsive. It's a criminal act for a reason. It is the most vulgar violation of a woman to watch her in the privacy of her home that there is. You are a disgust, Mr. Perry, and you're caught. Everything changed in your life forever when you did the crime to me. You're not bait. Mr. Perry sold me in a human trafficking deal. David Roberson is looking mighty pathetic and mighty desperate today. Last night he got recorded. Why didn't you take her car this weekend? I can't get into the parking lot of her work without them seeing me. So there's that. We heard you, David. You're pathetic and you're desperate and you look stupid. About as stupid as Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry has been diagnosed with Huntington's disease. It causes delusion. He's a certified whack job. About 10 years past a good time for the nut house and a butterfly net. It's embarrassing. And you know what's really sad? Is he doesn't know that he should be embarrassed by the weirdo shit he does. Everyone else is. Everyone else is fucking crawling under the table. Not him. Doesn't know. Doesn't have any idea how embarrassing the way he acts. No class, no dignity. Just sick. He's a sicko. So, Huntington's disease causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. Do you have that too, David? I mean, this is ridiculous. Then he gets recorded today again on the murder frame-up we've been talking about for years. I don't socialize. I haven't for years. I don't have any friends. They ran them all off. They ran off my family. The friends that I have are catching your crime. I've known them for a lot longer than I've known any of you. They know me inside out, backward and forward. They know what I'll do in any given situation. They're working with me. Mr. Perry types in my phone this morning, "It's going to snow. Call me." Oh my God. We're going to throw a decade worth of work out the window because it's going to snow. Do you hear the stupid and the shit he says? We don't even have words for that. We don't have words for that. So you get caught. Our guys told them in March 2020, you are not to invade her privacy anymore. You do not contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. And she's not to be broke, or you'll pay with intel that we're going to use to put you in jail. And that way, you can't do that to her ever again. You can't rape her. You can't try to starve her. You can't sell her. Human trafficking is a serious, serious crime. So is murder in the first degree of a cop. And guess who caught that? I did. We did. We knew Mike Neely was drugged before anybody else said it. They didn't even take depositions until May. We were saying it in January 2020. We said it again in February 2020, David. Watch who it is you're dealing with. Because you act like you don't know. Boy, you got everybody mad. You got everybody mad. So we got you talking about taking my car. We got you talking about framing me for a murder. Charles, you got told on. Get a grip on reality. What did that guy say? You're mad because she always finds out before? Dumb. Here's the thing. People don't like crime. You're making everybody uncomfortable. Charles, you creep everybody out. Charles, you're creeping everybody out. You are not invited to Oklahoma. Nobody invited you. Nobody asked you what you think. Did they? And you never shut up. It is unbelievable. You're just like this guy. So the guy said, you're upset that she keeps finding out what you're trying to do to her beforehand? Yes. You don't like that? No. Okay, here's the thing, dumb. You ought to just know this at your age. It's insane I'm having to say it, but I'll say it. She said people are uncomfortable with what you're doing. And you're upsetting everybody with what you're doing to her. So crime tends to upset people and offend and make them uncomfortable. Her people are very strategic, very methodical, very calculated, and they do their homework and you don't. You're too stupid. They do it or they don't do anything until they do the homework. They know everything about everything and everybody all the time. They make sure they do before they make a move. So they understand what people want, and it is not what you're doing. They're getting the help, you're getting told on. And it is 10 years of that all day, every day. Nothing's going to change until Mr. Perry gets a grip on reality. She'll find out again tomorrow. And he said that over a month ago, David. Do you have a disease too, sir? Because you act like you do. This has been said over and over and over and over. When you do the crime to me, David, you get caught. That's just the way it's been. McNamara email was 10 years ago. You were asking me before you pulled your little stunt that is detailed in the McNamara email. You were asking me then, how do you keep finding out before? Okay, here we are 10 years later. You're still asking the same question. Name one of my guys and quote one of their meetings. Oh, yeah, you can't. You can't, can you? No one will help you. Everybody's sick of y'all. You don't get a date. Charles, you're a weirdo. You're not my kind. You have zero class, zero dignity. You can't be normal. You're strange-o. You're creeping everybody out. You creep everybody out. How embarrassing for you. You sicko. I don't go out with peeping toms. I don't go out with canned food guys. I don't go out with alleged pedophiles or cop killers. You're sick. You're twisted. You're a rejected failure. Too stupid to figure out how to get women to like you. You're just like this guy. You make everybody want to hit you. You just bother and bother and bother and bother and just like this guy. I don't care what you want. I took all your stuff. I made you broke. Right? Why don't you like me? I'm going to take your car. I'm going to frame you for murder. Why don't you like me? All day, every day. He never shuts up. It is so embarrassing. And he has no idea. He should be too embarrassed to act like that. No idea. Just like this guy.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
You look desperate and you look pathetic, David. So we get David Roberson, not Matt Powell, not Josh Person, actually not even Charles. David is that desperate and that pathetic that he's calling. I thought you were going to take her car this weekend. We got that recorded, David. And the guy said, I can't get on the property without them seeing. They have cameras all over the place. So I didn't get the car. Why do you want to take her car, David? Are you that pathetic? Are you that desperate? You guys had a choice when we started catching your crime like never before in your lives, David. When you do it to me, everything changed. And you act like you don't know that. It's 10 years into this, David. When you do the crime to me, that's the cause. You get caught. That's the effect. When you touch a hot stove, David, that's the cause. You get burned. That's the effect. I'm the hot stove, David. I didn't do a fucking thing to you. I came here to get away from drama Princess Cuckoo Bird. Disgusting fucking yuck. He makes my skin crawl. He's yuck to me. He repulses me. So I came, first I moved from Lubbock to Dallas area. And he bothered me there. So I left and I came to Oklahoma, home to my family. Okay? To get away from drama queen. Repulsive yuck. He's not attractive, he's repulsive. He disgusts people. Everybody hates y'all. Why can't you get that? Everybody's sick of y'all. Why can't you get that, David? Are you slow? You got mental problems too? Every time he contacts me, every time Charles contacts me, we always get more, David. He never shuts up. Never shuts up. He's constantly threatening me. He's constantly asking me about leaks. He's constantly taking my money. He's constantly bothering everybody I know. He's constantly causing a problem. Everything's a thing, and everything's a big ordeal. And if it's fun, he makes it unfun. If it's good, he takes it. That's just what you guys do. But when you do it to me, David, you get caught. Why might that be? Why is that? Who's helping me, David? Name one guy. Quote one of their meetings. Oh shit, you can't. Everybody's sick of you. You look desperate, and you look pathetic, and you look weak, sir. How many men sit around trying to make one woman fail? Every time you do it to me, you get caught. The thing is, it's been that way all day, every day for a decade, David. It doesn't get any more mental slow than you. Who's Lucius? Calvin, who's bald and fat. And everybody hates him. That guy's a mean son of a bitch. Everybody hates you, Calvin. Everybody hates you because you're cruel. Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sanjay, your hacker. Geppetto, your witch. Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Andrew Lawrence, James Rubin, Nesbitt. The fuck is Nesbitt? Who the fuck is that? Why do you know him, Charles? Why do you know that guy? Greg, Tim, Larry, Bruce, Oscar, Beverly, who's all concerned about my shoes. This summer, she said, if only she'd worn different shoes when she dropped off a DoorDash order at the DA's office, then this whole thing would be over. Over for who, Beverly? Over for who? You think it would be over? Really? Are you that dumb? You're that slow? Look at what we're doing. You think it would be over? If I'm kidnapped or false arrested again? You're off your nut. You're not paying attention to what we're doing. We quote you. I've never met Beverly. So how do I know she said that about my shoes? Wake up. Wake up. You're in a lot of trouble, Beverly. They want to they sold me to some Houston realtor named Larry. Because Larry can't get a date the normal way. He's got that bad of a weirdo vibe. He can't get a date, nor can Charles. They're weirdos. Sex weirdos. They're sick, twisted, demented, depraved motherfuckers. So they gotta buy and sell women. And then rape them. They're not attractive. They repulse. So by force, they kidnap and rape. That's what human trafficking is, Beverly. I would be raped so they can make a profit. Human trafficking is a very, very serious crime, Beverly. Are you trying to facilitate the delivery of a woman against her will by force in a human trafficking deal? You can go to jail for that for the rest of your life. Conspiracy to commit. You heard of that? Conspiracy to commit fraud upon a court. Conspiracy to commit perjury. Conspiracy to commit human trafficking. Conspiracy to commit coercion. It changed when you did it to me. And as many times as we said all those names, people I have never met in my life. In my life, never met them. Some of those people might be leaks. They're fine. They might have helped us in some way. They don't have a fucking thing to worry about. That would not be Charles or Beverly. Okay? You were told in March 2020, David, you don't contact her or her family. You don't do it. You don't make her broke. You don't do it. You don't invade her privacy. You don't do it. Because if you do, you're fucked. You're fucked like you've never been fucked in your life. Fabian puzzled, David. How'd I get that? You are asking me before you did the first false arrest. I got arrested for trying to get a protective order against these guys. When somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you need a protective order. Do you not? I don't know, David. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with you. You picked one with me and with everybody helping me, and you don't even know who that is. They're very good at what they do. They can get a lot done because you don't know who they are. And nobody will tell you. You guys have called all kinds of police departments. Have you not? Didn't one of them tell you she's objectifying what you're doing with what she's doing? Yeah. Okay, well, she moved to Oklahoma to get away from that little bitch, right? I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, she did. Oh, and he's in Oklahoma and won't leave? Well, why are you investigating her and not him? Because that doesn't even make sense. What a dumb thing to do. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you want to know if we're helping her? I wish we were. It sounds like you're making it very easy. It sounds like these are some very bad people doing some very bad things, and they need to be stopped. This is a big catch for law enforcement. And you're helping him? The hell's wrong with you? That doesn't make sense. Don't call me complaining. I wish it was us helping. So, desperate, David. So this morning they're caught again trying to frame me for a murder. We can't. We want to use her shoes and yeah. But here's the problem, David. First, you got caught trying to alter evidence in the appearance between her and the other girl that looks like her. Okay, their hair is different. Cindy's hair is more of a white blonde. The other girl's is more of a yellow blonde. And you tried to get the other girl, you tried to find out from Cindy, what color do you dye your hair with? So that you could have her dye hers the same color. And then the other girl's skin is darker. So you tried to get Cynthia to go tan. Even if she goes tan now, it doesn't change the skin color on the day of the murder, dum-dum. You're not all there, are you? Not only that, we can't put her at the scene because you ran off all her friends and all her family except these guys helping her. So, and you don't know who they are. Nobody will help you with that. Nobody will help you. They're helping us, not you. So, you're already caught altering evidence. Then you stole everything she had. All her shoes. So everything she has now was bought in September 2022 when she got her student loan. A few things were bought after August 2nd because on August 2nd, first they get me kicked out of my apartment. Mr. Perry told everybody there's not going to be a new apartment and a new car. Like he thought it was his business. It's none of his business. He's stalking. And stalking is a criminal act in all 50 states. I left to get away from him and never again have to hear what he thinks or how he feels or what he wants and the whining and the nagging. Oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Nobody asked you what you think. Nobody asked you how you feel or what you want or what you need. You don't matter. I do. The victims matter. This time it's different, stupid. We're all tired of your dumb problem. And you're wasting people's time having to explain things that most people don't need explained at all. You got to have it explained over and over and over and over, and everything's repeated. And when you're in jail, finally, we can only have to say it once. Most people don't have to have it explained at all, sir. Get a doctor or a nurse or a special education teacher with the puppets and the crayons to help you get shit. Nobody else has to have explained. You embarrass me. It's embarrassing. We're tired of dealing with it. Why are you in Oklahoma bothering me? Why are you in Oklahoma bothering me? What do you care about my car? Or where I live? So you hid all this shit all your life, but when you did it to me, what happened? What happened? Nobody asked you to come to Oklahoma. So, what did the guy say? You know what? If I was accused of stalking a woman, the last thing I would do is go where the accuser is and refuse to leave. It's not like they're running into each other at the neighborhood grocery because they live in the same neighborhood or same town. She moved thousands of miles away to a different state to get away from him. He's where she is and refuses to leave and then expects everybody to believe him when he says he's not a stalker. He's a rejected, delusional, whack job stalker. Same as this guy.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can tell
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof.
That guy's been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone.
old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping you since you were...
Okay, listen to the words they're using to describe someone like this Neil guy and you. Garbage. Disgusting. There are social norms. There are laws to protect us from anyone who would be deviant and cause an injury. The injuries are in Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma. And Mr. Perry's in Oklahoma. No parties are in Texas. No injuries are in Texas. So Texas courts do not have any jurisdiction, Mr. Perry. I have not committed a murder, and the guys investigating you know that. They've known me most of my adult life. They know what I will do or not do in any given situation. The person that I have the motive to murder is you. And you're fine. You have taken everything and everyone that I want. You have ruined anything and everything good. So the person that I have a motive to kill is you, Charles, and you're fine. I've not been to any party in a decade because you ran off all my friends. You're still making people around me hostile, and it's duly noted for the record. You don't need to be talking to anybody around me, do you? And you are, because you're a creepy, fucked up stalker, a deviant, depraved, and demented sicko. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Stupid. It's cause and effect, same and different. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. It's been that way, David, for 10 years. Are you mentally slow too? People are sick of you. You're harassing, you bully. Nobody likes that, David. And you're an alleged cop killer. When you guys ruined my college, fail her, because we have a trafficking delivery deadline, and we need her to be broke so we can pressure her to cooperate with being trafficked. And we need her to lie. We've got an affidavit recanting everything she said for the past decade. She's gonna sign it under force, or else. She's gonna be trafficked under force, or else. And Mr. Perry told everybody in Oklahoma who would listen, if I can't deliver her, I will lose millions. No one cares. We're getting the help you're getting told on, you fucking reject. You're stupid, and we're tired of dealing with it. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma, Mr. Perry. Nobody's in love with you. Nobody's texting you, trying to see you. You're getting told on, and there are women running down to the courthouse trying to get a protective order, and you're having to buy your way out of that, aren't you? We know you're buying your way out of it. You're bribing a judge, more than one of them. You went duck hunting with Judge Cummings. So the mafia guy, David, Lucius, that our guys talked to, said he was told they went hunting with Judge Cummings. Or they wouldn't even let her. First of all, the burden of proof was on her. She filed 3 lawsuits. 3 of them. The burden of proof was on her. They wouldn't even let her in court. You got James Goodwin. Won't even face me like a man in a normal hearing. Judge Morrissey, James fucking Goodwin. Wow. Mr. I'm against slavery. No, you're not. Because you're facilitating human trafficking too, sir. And that's slavery. You're not against discrimination, because gender discrimination is just as bad as race, sir. So you're full of shit. Put up or shut up. How embarrassing for you. I'm embarrassed for you, sir. Because you aspire to be better than that, and you're not. So we have a court date because I sued Lady Godivas for taking $5,000 of my money in no-show fines because I couldn't go to work because David Roberson is there trying to murder me by putting shit in my drinks. He's harassing me. Customers complained. Customers said, we're disturbed watching this guy stalk her in here. He has had this chick right here go back and watch her every time she does a lap dance. He's watching everything she does, and it's creeping us out. And the waitress laughed it off and blew it out like, no, it's no big deal. And the guy looked at her and he said, listen, it's not her saying it, it's me. You're questioning my judgment, and I'm not okay with that. What are you going to do, wait till he blows her head off? They didn't make him leave. They fired me after I paid $5,000 in no-show fines. So I sue them, and they don't answer. No answer at all. Okay, you have to answer. I've got case law. I've got everything. You got to answer. You can't just blow it off. And Mr. Goodwin should have known that. So we go to court, and Judge Morrissey says, I have a motion or a response. I can't even remember what I filed. And it's not proper. So I have stricken it from the record. What I can do, though, Ms. Ortiz, is first of all, we need to have Mr. Goodwin file a motion addressing XYZ. Did you want this to be your response, or do we leave that stricken, because I can unstrike it, or I guess readmit it as the answer, or did you want to file a new response to what he files? And I'm thinking, well, duh, I got to see what he says. I don't know what he's going to say. So I said, I'm going to file a response to whatever it is he files. Fine, that's fine, and then we'll have a hearing. All of a sudden, everything's just dismissed. No hearing. He chickened out against a woman with not one day of law school. Wow. We don't even know what to say to that, Mr. Goodwin, who's against slavery and discrimination. Either you are or you're not, sir. But you couldn't even face me like a man in a normal hearing. You got to make some phone call and everything's just gone. No reason, no explanation. Nothing was filed. He didn't file anything. I didn't file a response. That is not lawyering, sir. That is corruption of the worst kind. Because for you, of all people, to facilitate discrimination and to facilitate slavery, it's just of gender, not race, is a disgust to our society that is supposed to be evolving and progressing and civilized. And you're now part of the problem that you say that you're against and not part of the solution. And I don't even know what to say. You couldn't face me like a man in a normal legal hearing. You chickened out against a woman with not one day of law school. Wow. Jesus. Wow. But when stuff like that happens, it outrages everybody against you, David, Charles, Josh, Joe, Matt, and Mr. Goodwin, and Mark Warman, and Norman Giles, and Bill Helfand, and Seth Dennis, and Kim Paxton. Outrages people against you. And so we get help with inside information on your crime. And the guy said, Judge Cummings, I've not been in any hearing. And people are getting frustrated. They're running around saying she can't prove this. Well, here's the thing, you dumb. She had 3 lawsuits at which you could have made her prove it. 3 of them. You chickened out, you pussied up, you were a coward, and you got them all dismissed, and you bought a judge, and everybody knows it. You didn't let her in court at all. much less make her prove it. And the burden of proof was on her. So I'm sorry, but we don't believe you. We think that she can prove it, or you wouldn't have done that. You would have let her prove it. Or you would have made her try and fail. But the thing is, you know she can. David, you know she can. So 3 times you wouldn't even let there be a hearing, much less a jury trial, making her prove it. You made sure she didn't. Also, in Michael Neely's case, his murder trial, when he has the right to present exculpatory evidence, I could have done that and you know it. So you made sure I didn't testify, and now you're retaliating against me, which is a violation of Title 18 of the United States Code, the racketeering law, the RICO Act, 1513 and 1512. Witness tampering. We're going to do a false arrest, force her to lie, and cooperate with being trafficked. We want her locked up in a dungeon because she's catching our crime too much, and we don't like that. We can't let her live in Oklahoma. It's not up to you, is it? If I know you said that, it's not up to you. If I know you're trying to frame me for a murder, you framed Mike for a murder, it's not up to you. We know it beforehand, not after. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. You get caught. Cause and effect. Can you not, David, at your age, can you not understand cause and effect, same and different before and after? Because we got all that. We understood it in daycare. We all understood that in daycare. You took my friend, so I don't party. I don't go to parties. And he shouldn't have to sit you down and explain. This one is different. You're seeing things you've not seen before. She already knows what you're doing. There's cops all over you all the time, protecting her from you. And the more Charles contacts me, the more we get. And that bitch never shuts up. Never shuts up, just like that guy. Whiny, naggy. I need. Nope, no one cares. You are not asked. You are told to fuck off. Fuck the hell off. So you don't want sensitive information getting in the wrong hands. Like they went hunting with Judge Cummings. Duck hunting specifically, my guy told him. They went duck hunting with that judge. And got all her claims dismissed. Duck hunting. No order that he issued ever gave a reason. He didn't have time to do the research. He was out duck hunting. So, he didn't have a reason. And the guy goes, wow, that's sensitive information you don't want getting in the wrong hands. And you're law enforcement. You're the wrong hands. And you don't want it in her hands either. That increases your value and hers every time that happens. And it decreases they made themselves weak. We know that. We get all kinds of shit about their crime when they do it to her. It's been that way 10 years. They act like they don't know. Wow. So, every time she's broke or bothered, that's what happens. They got informants, they get infiltrators, they got leaks, we got wiretap orders. She's not told what information is gotten, how, who, whether it's a wiretap order or a leak or an informant or an infiltrator. She's not told that. But yeah, when she's broke or bothered, we get sensitive information they don't want us having. Every time. All day long for 10 years. And he said, well, that wouldn't happen all day long, every day, for 10 years. We're at my organization because I'm not stupid. I'm a businessman. One time, and that person would never be broke or bothered again. I'd make sure of it. They do the same thing every day that gets the same results. You don't like her finding out before? No. Okay. Well, until they get a grip on reality, it'll happen again tomorrow. Because reality is, people don't like what you're doing. People don't like crime. Look at the polls. Watch the news. They don't like suffering. They don't like one person injuring another. That's why we have laws prohibiting one person injuring another. You stupid sons of bitches. People don't like your crime. People don't like your crime. How many different ways can we say the same thing? There's a reason everybody doesn't act like you. People don't like your crime. Charles, your peeping Tom problem is so disgusting and so nasty and so weirdo. That alone is enough to repulse everybody. You're not getting a date, you stupid son of a bitch, ever. I don't date peeping Toms. I don't date canned food. I don't date alleged pedophiles and alleged cop killers. You're not good enough for me. You have to be normal and classy and dignified to ride this ride, and you can't do it. You have a weirdo problem and zero power over it. You can't control yourself. It is pathetic. Your conduct is sick. We get the help because of it. You get told on. Every day, all day long. So whoever this was having an argument that we're all scratching our heads going, did they not already say this? He said what you'd want to do is get all the evidence, arrest her. It's a surprise. You've lost the element of surprise. Because you're getting recorded trying to frame her for a murder. We all know good and well she didn't do. What courtroom is that popping up in? Oh yeah, you don't know. Nobody will help you with that. So she already knows, David, that you're trying to use shoes purchased long after the murder to frame her for the murder. And you're having to alter appearances and evidence. That means she didn't do it. Or you wouldn't have to alter anything. You just collect the evidence, and the evidence tells you what happened. But that's not what you're doing. You're altering evidence. You're changing appearances. Right? How many times have you done that and gotten away with it, but not this time? Everything, life as you knew it changed when you did the crime to me. It ended. It's over. And you got to know that. And the last thing I said to you when I saw you face to face, David Roberson, is you asked me, who's helping you tell me how you keep finding out before? And this was in 2015. You tell me how you keep finding out before. And I'm like, I'm not Wyatt Earp. I didn't come in town to mop up. I don't want to know about this stuff. I want to be left alone. I came here to be left the fuck alone. To be with my family and be left the fuck alone. I did not pick a fight with you. I don't even know you. You are picking one with me. And it's kicking your ass like never before. And you just want to know how? Okay, go fuck yourself. He said, I'll tell you who your real parents are. I don't care. I'm not 6 years old. Doesn't matter. Go fuck yourself. And I walked off. That was it. Last time I talked to David Roberson face to face. Now he's desperate, and now he's pathetic, and we need to take her car. And we've heard you every time you say it. Let's damage the engine. Let's make it wrecked again. And we've heard you every time you say it. We've heard you every time you say it. We've heard every time Charles and Calvin talk about calling in a pullover. Pull her over. Take her tail light out and pull her over. Pull her over. Here's where she'll be. Pull her over. Over and over and over, Calvin. Let's have Broken Arrow Police do it. Did you have the chief testify that no conversation ever occurred in which you, Calvin, or Charles, or David asked them to pull me over? And we never said that there was such a conversation. What we said was there was a conversation between Charles and Calvin and David about having me pulled over by Broken Arrow Police. Things are different when you do it to me. Way different. And all y'all are so mentally slow, you act like you don't know that. Well, everyone knows that, okay? We all know. It's different when you do the crime to me. I did not pick this fight. You did. I haven't been anywhere with anybody for 10 years because you ran off my friends. You've made people hostile toward me. You've made people ask me weird questions that make me uncomfortable. People that you should know, Charles, but you do because you're a fucking stalker. Rejected fail. Too stupid to figure out how to be normal and move on and act like a dude. We're sick and tired of dealing with you. Nobody invited you here. Nobody invited you here. Nobody's in love with you. You've got an imaginary love life that makes everybody want to throw up. It's weirdo. You forged a marriage license. I've still not seen it. We're not married. Whack job. Forgery is a crime, not a date. Stalking is a crime, not a date. Peeping is a crime, not a date. It's rape. You're raping me. And because you do that, we get more intel. You know why? Everybody wants you gone. Get the intel, get the information, get the evidence, and lock the bitch up. We all want him gone. How can I help? We're all sick of this. People have been sick of it for a long time. When you fucked up my school, we got the Houston compound information. The Houston compound you do not talk about or they will kill you dead. But I'm sick of this. I'm sick of them doing this to her. So you guys make sure you have my back, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about that stupid compound. They got a bunch of girls and kidnapped them, and they're locked up in there against their will. They're not coming and going freely like they want. They raped them, and then they got them pregnant, and now they have kids by these girls. And they're raping the kids. They're pimping them out. And their place smells like the sewer, because those kids are shitting all over the floor from being sodomized. And one of the kids was screaming bloody murder while he was getting raped. And his mother sitting in the next room crying her eyes out. She couldn't do a thing to help her tiny human baby while he was getting raped. And I heard the bitch tell her, stop crying. He'll get used to it. We'll get him a toy. And I wanted to throw up everywhere. The stuff that goes on in that place, they will fuck the girls, then they go fuck each other, then they fuck the kids, and it is a disgusting thing that is happening in that place. It's about time somebody got it. And then you were talking about Natalie Holloway being there. Is she there? Charles, yes or no? Is she there? Did you have your Ron lie about killing her? We think you did. Because our guy said, let's test that. Put something out about doing an extraction, and you guys got desperate and pathetic. And you said, does she remember who she is? She hasn't gone by Natalie Holloway for years. Should we move her? Who's talking? Is Euron leaking? If they got the Fabian puzzle to Cynthia, are they able to talk to Michael Neely and Euron Vandersloot while they're in jail? How many times have you had their cells tossed looking for a phone or something? And you found nothing. You think we're that dumb in the way we work? That we'll just, oh, here's a phone. You're off your nut. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't have any idea. You're in way over your heads. Way over your heads. And all you had to do is leave me the fuck alone. All you had to do, David, is leave me and my family the fuck alone like you were told to do in March 2020. My guy said this when Mr. Perry threatened to kill me with a syringe. Fake a medical emergency at her work. She'll help. Tell her the guy that she's helping has a virus and that she has to have a shot or she'll get it too and she will die. And your hitman, I heard him say, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And I heard you say, you make sure she takes the shot. Tell her she'll die if she doesn't. Who has those recordings, Mr. Perry? Who all's heard him already? 12 reporters have heard him. 3 are not in the U.S. So you can't delete it. Delete an email about it and say, oh, well, nobody will know now. I'm sorry. We're way past that, Lucius. Who are you, Lucius? I don't even know you. But I have your name. Betancourt. Who's Betancourt? I've never met Mr. Betancourt that I know of. So how do I have his name? Mr. Betancourt, if you understood what it means that I have your name, you would shit yourself. But you're not smart enough. You're not smart enough, are you? No, you're not. You're not either, Lucius. I didn't pick the fight. I came here not to have a fight. You forced this on me. You forced it on my family. You forced it on everybody I know. And we're all sick and tired of it. So we get the help and you get told on, David. And you look desperate, and you look pathetic, and you have made yourself weak. You don't want sensitive information getting to the wrong hands. And so if one person being broke and bothered gets it into the wrong hands, then you make sure that person is never broke or bothered. You don't spend this much money getting them what they want. Law enforcement. And yet they're doing that. Yeah, they're weak. They made themselves weak. I'd never do that. I'm a businessman. But that's why I don't do business with sex perverts. They can't control themselves. They're pathetic and stupid and desperate and repulsive to everybody else. Dr. Weck said, we think Jeff Epstein was murdered because even prisoners are repulsed by the sex weirdos like that. I'm paraphrasing. Guys like that, he said. Men who rape children. Men who make a profit off of the rape of children and women. We don't act like that in a civilized society. You go to jail. That's why they have laws that says you can't do that, or you go to jail, because it's offensive to a civilized society. We don't behave that way, like this guy.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone! Please!
old. Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy.
This, please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care. You
Leave
can
me
all
alone.
you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men,
Mr. Perry, get some dignity. My answer is no. And fuck you for asking. It's been that way for 10 years. And the more you pressure me, and the more you contact me, and the more you cause a problem for me, and the more longer you make me broke, and the more problems you try to cause, the more we get to put you in jail. Everybody is sick of you. Why can't you get that? I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. Nobody understands why you think I would care what you think or I would help you. No one understands why you think that, you delusional whack job. It's embarrassing that you think that. Please be as embarrassed as everybody else is. Everybody else is crawling under the table embarrassed by you and the weirdo shit you say. I said no. Now fuck you. That you even ask. There's no chance of a date. There's no chance of a lie. And the continued pressure is getting us more information to use to put you in jail so you never bother me again. You sick son of a bitch.
Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
I don't go out with men who have a peeping Tom problem. I do not find that attractive. It is repulsive to everybody else. And that's why it's illegal, you stupid fuck. I don't go out with men who are canned food. I don't do it. And you're a job, and I'm very good at what I do, or you wouldn't be, attacking me the way that you do. And Mr. Goodwin would have faced me in court like a man instead of chickening out like he did. He's supposed to be this iconic attorney. What? I'm like, wow, that's not the man I saw. That's not the man I met. I met a man who's facilitating slavery and discrimination, is what I met. Who is too afraid to face me in court in a normal hearing. File a motion, I file a response, we have a hearing. That's what I met, a coward. So I don't know the man that I read about. Not seen that man. Not at all. You're a rejected failure, Charles. You repulse me. You're too stupid to figure out how to go be normal, get some class, get some dignity, and fuck off. So we get the help with the information, you get told on. And everybody cannot wait till you guys are in jail and we don't have to repeat ourselves anymore. It's like a nursing home. Your people are complaining about that. They will have a meeting, the guy said. They will have a meeting about something she just said. And they act like she doesn't know yet. It'll only work if she doesn't know. And they're talking about it, and we're listening to them, and we're going, she just said this. She already knows. And then they get shocked and dismayed when, of course, it doesn't work because she already knows. It's like sitting in an insane asylum all the time. I'm done with them. They're headed down a rabbit hole, and I'm not going with them. How does she know? See, the thing is constitutionally, when you're in jail and you go to your trial, they have to tell you how they got the information, don't they? They never have to tell you how I got it. They never have to tell you peep, you see, you can talk to police on the phone. So what in the hell is, but y'all run around, how'd she find out? How'd she know? We do the same repeat every day. Charles contacts me. Charles makes me broke. Charles invades my privacy. Y'all all try to cause a problem and try to ruin me. And so we get the information about it before you do it, not after. Y'all run around going, how'd she find out? How'd she know? And we repeat the same thing every day for 10 years. And they will use that to put you in jail. I don't care what your delusional bullshit land tells you. They are going to use it to put you in jail. Because people are sick of y'all and they want you to stop. You've called all around and nobody will help you. They're helping us, not you. Why is that, David? You look pathetic. All right, so we've got all this about your little murder frame, David. You look weak. Dated 2022, February. Okay, we caught you then. And that's what the guy's saying. If you have to alter evidence, you know good and well she didn't do it. She's excluded. Because if she did it, there's going to be evidence to show that and to prove that. There's not any. You're having to manufacture it. And you're caught. You get caught when you do it to me. We documented it in February 2022. There's a lot of emails about shoe prints. Get her shoes, get her shoe print. Okay. Then you took everything I have, including my shoes. So in August 2nd, 2022, they had me kicked out of my apartment. So I go to Sky Motel. Sky Motel's paid up for a month. It's time to pay again. Every time I paid about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, on the day that money was due. I didn't pay at 11, I paid at 4. And that was fine. For a long time. So I tell the girl, Lynn is her name, I said, I'm going to go get money like I do all the time, and I'll be back around 4. That woman started screaming at me, no, you get out, or I'll call the cops. Oh my God, wow, I don't owe you any money, and you're not entitled to my stuff. But I don't want a scene, so I'm going to walk away from my stuff, and you're going to have to deal with what happens after that. You're going to go to jail too, Lynn. So, what I did is I said, I got to get my purse and my keys. She goes, fine. I walk in. I grab my purse and my keys and my phone and my computer. And I left. I had left my toothbrush. I left my shoes. I walked out with the clothes on my back and some old house slippers. My ex-husband sent me a few dollars to buy some $6 tennis shoes and a toothbrush. And then I went and DoorDashed. And by the end of the day, I had a few dollars to pay for a Goodwill shirt, t-shirt, and some shorts. And I called my ex-husband. Okay, my ex-husband called Sky Motel and said, I filled out a paper that allows you to charge my credit card, and I'd like to pay for another week. And that woman refused payment. Has all my belongings. Stole it. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we get more. I don't care what you think. No one understands why you do. He just did it again. It is 2:39 p.m., so we'll get more because he just made unwanted contact with me again. You stole my stuff. You have no date. You're told on. Look at what you're getting from what you're doing. Stupid. And stop embarrassing everybody with that. He just threatened me again. I did. I took everything you have. I made you broke. I'm taking your car. I'm framing you for a murder. Why don't you like me? Oh my God, wow. You've been alone. You've been rejected. And you've been told on for 10 years. And you're about to go to jail with everything we got. So don't threaten me again. You little fuck. You sick fuck. Threaten me again. Do not threaten me again. Okay? You don't even know how to look at what you get out of what you're doing. You're that stupid. You can't read your own results. We do. We do. That's why we get the help you get told on. Because you are a sick fuck. And everybody's sick of dealing with it. Everybody's sick of you. Why can't you get that? You stupid fuck. You're stupid. You're weak. You're pathetic. You embarrass everybody. So, then my ex-husband says, they said you barricaded yourself in. And I said, oh, what the hell? No, I did not barricade myself in. The cameras will show she walked right in after me. Didn't have to knock. Didn't have to do anything. I had a shoelace tied to the lock thingy that I put up there at night because that place is shady. And I don't want somebody coming in my room at night. So at night when I'm sleeping, yes, I'm barricaded in. But at that moment, I was not. She lied. Oh, big surprise. Charles's bitch lied. Ooh, we're all shocked. So she's going to jail with you, Charles, because she did something for you that caused an injury. You're going to jail. Listen to the words I'm saying. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. We get a lot of information from inside your criminal organization that you had all your life. And we're not doing it to just do nothing with it. We're going to use it to put you in jail. And the more you give us, the easier it will be to get a conviction. You're not all there. We're sick of dealing with your stupid. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. You don't see Dan Pope up here. You don't see Steve Massengill up here. You don't see Jason Moore up here. You don't see John Steinmetz up here. So why are you? What lie do you tell Jacqueline, your wife, Jordan, and Matthew, your children? What lie are you telling them? If it were me and I've been accused of stalking, the last thing I would do is go where the accuser is and refuse to leave. That's stalking. Why do you know what I drive, David? How do you know what car I drive? That you would, except for stalking. How do you know what car I drive except for stalking? It's really none of your business, is it? You spend way too much time trying to ruin one woman, and you get caught every time you do, and you have for 10 years. We got all this, David, because when Charles stalks me, invades my privacy, peeps and creeps, threatens me, takes my money, causes a problem for me, and contacts me. Let me tell you how I feel. No one cares. No one asked you. And nobody understands why you think I would care anything about what you think or feel. Stupid weirdo. So we get more every time you do that. Cause and effect, same, different, before and after. 10 years of that every day, all day long, and it doesn't get any more slow than you. Mentally slow. Cause and effect. We all learned that in daycare, David. After they did the, anyway, so the lady's going to call the cops if I take my things. I don't owe her a dime. Don't owe her a dime. The money was due that day. I always paid about 4 or 5. My ex-husband tries to pay. She refuses payment. He paid for a room. After that, he paid for a room for one night and starts telling me, you got to come back to Texas. And I'm like, oh, listen, I've already told you they're going to kill me. I've already told you they were going to do a false arrest. You're the one I sent the McNamara email to. You're the guy I sent that to. And then they did it. I've already told you I can't go back to Texas. I'm the mother of your one and only son, and you would dare treat me like that? How much are they going to pay you? $25,000? Why would you do that to your mother of your son? Send me off to get raped so they all make money. What kind of monster are you? Yeah, that happened. So he's like, I'll pay for a day and that's it. Then you come back to Texas. Wow, because you were just going to pay for a week and you told me they refused your payment for a week. So if you're going to pay for a week at one hotel, why not another? Oh, because Charles called you and told you not to? Because you're talking to a man who has sold me? The mother of your one and only kid? How much are they going to pay you? $25,000 we hear? I wish Mike's husband got recorded. So this is why I don't have friends and go to parties with anybody, Mr. Perry. I don't interact. The guy's not wrong. If that was Richard, he's not wrong. I don't interact with anybody more than 10 minutes. I don't. Unless I'm sitting with a paying customer, they don't get any more than 10 minutes of my time. And I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say that will get me information to see if they're helping you. They start asking me weird questions that only you would want to know the answer to. I will fuck with them just because I can. Because I shouldn't be put through that. And every time I am, we get more. So on March 2020, David, my guy, said, after you got caught talking to a hitman, we think we found a hitman that can finally kill Cindy, and it won't be linked to us. It'll look like an unfortunate allergic reaction. We'll have him give her a shot, and we'll say she just had an unfortunate allergic reaction to the shot. Right, we heard that. It's actually, strychnine or something? It'll kill me. And you'd make me take it voluntarily by making me believe I had to have the shot or I would die. And you do that a lot, don't you? Uh-huh. It's different when you do it to me, though. And you act like you're too stupid to figure that out, David. You look weak and pathetic. So, my guy says, here's what's going to happen. Because they start threatening and bribing. We got a house in Houston. It'll be great. Yeah, it's a dungeon. You act like you forget who it is you're talking to. So, my guy says, here's what you're going to do. You ran all the customers off from that club where she works. And you didn't have the right to do that. You're interfering with commerce. Get that club full of paying customers. And stop telling guys to buy from everybody but her. Because I will land on your, you know what, and crush it till you wish you didn't have one. Okay? I promise I'll do that. She is not to be broke anymore. We know what kind of money she can make. She's helping us catch you. We know exactly what she can do. We got an accountant tallying up every penny you take. Because when we put you in jail, we're going to charge you with coercion. The act is interfering with commerce, intending to coerce, destruction and deprivation of property, using family, property, loss, income loss, threats of a false arrest, fraud upon a court, to try to push me and pressure me to do something I've said no to for 10 years. Charles, you're not good enough. I don't go out with peeping toms. You repulse me. You repulse everybody. It is a crime for a reason. You're a rejected failure, and you don't have any class, and you don't have any dignity, and you look stupid, and you look pathetic, and you look weak, and you embarrass everybody. And my answer is no. There's zero consideration to changing my mind, but every time you try to pressure me, we get more. Every time you pressure me, I said no. And fuck you for even asking. And every time you try to pressure me, we get more. We get more intel. That intel will be used to put you in jail. The more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction. And then we won't have to repeat ourselves anymore. Because you've wasted enough of our time. We're all busy, why aren't you? He said, get the club full of paying customers. And stop telling guys to buy from everybody but her. She better not be broke. Because we got a tally of dollars. We know to the penny how much you've taken from her. Plus, you're being charged $1,000 a day for watching me in the privacy of my home. You're being entertained. You're using my body against my will for your pretend love life because you don't have a real one. It's not real to me. You make my skin crawl. There's no reciprocation. You're not wanted. You're told on. And $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. Any smart businessman would foresee legal and criminal and civil liabilities and get a contract signed. But you were too stupid to even ask. My answer would have been no. And fuck you that you even asked me. You've degraded me, and what you did is you got told on when you do the crime to me. Peeping, poking. Your guys call you that. Your people make fun of you, Charles. Peeping, poking, pink penny, pathetic Perry. There's a whole lot more he said after that I'm not going to repeat. That was a quote from your own people making fun of you. Making fun of you. You have no control over yourself. You're weak and you're pathetic and powerless over your weirdo problem that is offensive to everybody else that gets us intel. Name one of my guys, quote one meeting. Oh yeah, you can't. And you act like you think that you can. And we don't even know what to say to that. We don't know what to say. All you do is bother. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma, and I don't care what you think, and nobody understands why you think I do, and I'll never help you. And you have an attorney that you pay a lot of money to answer your questions. Bother him with your questions. Don't bother me. You piss me off, you piss them off, and then we find out shit like that before you do it, not after. So, you're caught. You sick son of a bitch. You're caught. We got delivery deadlines that you've got. You've got one at Christmas this year. You had one at Christmas last year. You had one on January 18th of last year. Of this year. You had one on August 2nd. That's why you did what you did. If she's broke enough, then she'll go lie for us and go be trafficked. They got a coercion charge. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts and commerce with intent to coerce. How many of those are you going to get nailed with, David? When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Nothing else has happened but that. So, what he said is, get the club full of paying customers. Since you ran everybody off, make it right. But those people at that club. Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. All that stuff is offensive and weird and illegal. Charles, you're weirdo. And you're creeping everybody out. And you embarrass everybody, and you're not embarrassed. And I'm asking our shrink, why is he not embarrassed? Everybody else is. Embarrassed enough to stop acting like that. And doing what he's doing. Other people don't peep. Other people don't do what he's doing. You don't get a date doing like that. And our shrink said, I told you, Mr. Perry is severely mentally ill and severely mentally retarded. And he probably has Alzheimer's or senile dementia. Later, our guys are told Charles Perry has Huntington's disease and he doesn't want Cynthia to know. And it causes delusion, hallucinations, paranoia, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. And I'm sick of watching him do what he's doing. Terrorize her, torment her, torture her, and try to ruin her. I'm sick of it. So make sure she finds out that's what he has. It's not Tourette's. He tells everybody he's got Tourette's. Nope. It's Huntington's disease. And it will kill him dead. And you can't talk to him for more than 2 minutes without noticing something's wrong with him. He's not all there. So our shrink was right. I believe him to be severely mentally ill and severely mentally retarded. I don't know what he's got, but he's got something like Alzheimer's or something. And you're having to repeat yourself all the time on stuff most people don't have to be told at all. How embarrassing. He's about 10 years past. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we always get more, okay? You just did it again. You're not to contact me. He'll type in my other phone. Like he thinks this is a conversation. He should know what I'm doing right now. He only does because he's a sick little peeping Tom. And he's hacked my phones. Both of them. Cloned them. So, he thinks it's a conversation. It's not a conversation. You stupid little fuck. You can't be governor. You can't even be dog catcher. You can't think past tying your shoe. Okay, so, he said, she's not to be broke. Don't contact her or her family. Leave everybody alone. Stop bothering people. Leave everybody alone. Because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to get a bunch of intel. I'm going to get a bunch of evidence. We're going to put you in jail so that you can't bother her again, ever. And then she'll have her privacy back in her money, and she won't be broke anymore. And you won't be around to cause one problem after another. And one loss after another. You'll be gone. We'll make sure of it. And the more we get, the easier that will be, don't you think, David? So, we got all this. Because what happened is y'all said, no! And my guys were like, suit yourself. Suit yourselves. He said, get Michael Neely home to his family. And a reporter told our guys, remember there's 12 reporters, in the need to know, people they trust. 3 of them are not in the United States. Lucius, you won't control it. You can delete emails. Lucius wanted all these deleted. Put her in jail and delete all these emails. Get rid of the Facebook. Get rid of the blog. And we heard you say it. Destroy evidence. That's kind of what we do. But our guys have the actual recordings. And those recordings have been heard by who, Lucius? Who have they been passed on to? 12 reporters, 3 not in the U.S. Which country, Lucius? Go ahead and try to see what happens when you delete evidence, Lucius. Charles is a mentally retarded man. He can't think past tying his shoe. Diagnosed, certified. He's held back. The word retarded means he's held back by a disease called Huntington's disease. To be held back. That's what the word means. He can't keep up with everybody else. He can't reason. He can't use logic. He can't do it. Now, what's your excuse? What's your excuse, David? Okay, so, the reporter said, had they done what she said and gotten Mike Neely back to his family, if she continued to assert that they killed Chief Miller, not him, we would think that she was wrong, if not just a little bit crazy. Because if they help him get home, then they wouldn't have, why would they, it doesn't look like they would have done this murder, even if they really did do it. It would look like they didn't because they helped Michael Neely get home. They didn't frame him. They helped him get home. But that's not what they did. Instead, they did everything she said. He has not one injury. And he's found drugged and unconscious and in respiratory distress, dying. Not a mark on him, accused of beating someone in a drunken brawl, but yet not one injury on him that indicates he was in any fight at all. And they're retaliating against her, and you can't miss it. It's obvious they're retaliating against her. So she's right. They're making her look right, and they look guilty. They did it. They did that murder. And somebody recently expressed a lot of frustration. In order to make Charles's bullshit story work, we needed him to stop talking to her. Get his ass back to Lubbock and doing things he's supposed to do. So he has an alibi. And stop doing things that make her look right and him look guilty. And he won't understand how important it is that he's stupid. I've tried to explain it to him, and it's like goes right over his head. And he thinks he's going to be governor. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he can keep up with the responsibilities of a dog catcher with the mental illness that he has. So we got all that. Because you guys said, no. All right, suit yourselves. So we got more, David. They took all my clothes. If she already knows about this and you're trying to alter evidence and plant evidence, you've excluded her. She didn't do it. You ran off all of her friends, David. So I can't get somebody to explain, here's how she even ended up at that party. Here's who she was with. Here's how she met this person. This is when they invited her, and then she went to the party. We don't have any of that. She wasn't at the party. She didn't go to parties. You ran her friends off. You ran her family off. And you took everything she owned. So everything she has now, she bought after August 2nd, when you took everything she owned. She didn't even get her toothbrush, David. So how am I supposed to make your lie work? If she tans now, that doesn't change the difference in the color of her skin from the doppelganger you found on the day of the murder. It was still different. Hair color is still different. And by the way, every single witness that we talked to, Charles, said she's quite a bit bigger than Cindy. And gestures completely different. How do we know that now? The guy said, you know what you'd want to do is get all this evidence, arrest her, sit her down and go, here's all the evidence we have. Confess. And we'll take the death penalty off the table. But I can't even do that because she already knows about all this. And there is no evidence. You're having to make it up. You're having to manufacture it. And I can't put her at the party. Ever. I can't put her at the crime scene ever. Because you ran off her friends and there's no one that can get, well, we were friends and we hung out and we did this and that. And then we went to this party where this crime occurred. She doesn't have friends, you ran them off. You're still making her coworkers hostile to her. You're still doing it. You ran off her family. So now she doesn't talk to her family anymore. Because her family shoved her out of their lives and let you in. And there is no, if you can't trust your family, who can you trust? It's a huge betrayal that they did that to her. And you're trying to take her car. And every time you talk about taking her car, they hear it. It's here. Look, there's a thing on Goodwin. There's no anti-slavery hero. Here it is. We told you to take her car away this weekend, and this would be over. No, it would not. You're going to jail. Until you're in jail, sir, this is not going to be over. Or you stop bothering me and giving us evidence. Up to you. We told you that in March 2020 and you said, no. Suit yourself. You look weak. You made yourself weak. So we got this again. I can't get into the parking lot without her seeing me. So, by the way, Saturday I came home with $30. That's not what he said, is it? So we got that, David, because I got home with $30. You ran the customers off again. And you made some of my coworkers hostile to me. I'm going to tell you something. What I told one of the guys that used to work at Lady Godiva's, works with me now, and what I said to him is, I've worked here for 10 years. The owner knows my strengths and my weaknesses. I slept in his office for 2 months, right next to the money with the code. Nothing went missing. I don't steal, and he knows that. And if I need some money, I'll ask him for it. I don't need to take it. I'll just go say, can I have a loan? And he gives me a loan, and I pay him back. And we've been doing that for 10 years. We've been doing that for 10 years. You're new here. He doesn't really know you at all. He knows what I will do in any given situation because I've worked for him for 10 years. He doesn't know you at all. You're new. So, try to lie one more time. I dare you. I dare you. And watch what criminal charges you get hit with. Because my guys are watching everything that happens to me here. I promise. Everything. Try it one more time. I dare you. Do it one more time. Lie one more time. You're new. I've been here 10 years. I worked behind this bar for 2 months. You weren't here. These problems I'm having right now didn't happen until you got here. So do it one more time, I dare you. And tell us what criminal charges you're going to get hit with. Because you're a part of this. Your story is not passing the smell test. It's not passing it. Do it one more time, I dare you. Right? Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And she better not be broke. You need to get that club full of paying customers because you ran everybody off. Don't make a problem for her because we'll make 20 for you. Just like this, right here, David. You made yourself weak. You don't want sensitive information getting in the wrong hands. But every time you go at her, when Charles contacts me, we get more. When he takes my money, we get more. When he causes a problem for me, we get more. When he invades my privacy, we get more. Every day it's the same thing. And y'all run around going, how did she find out? How'd she know? This never happened before. It has. Every day for a decade, all day long. I can't get her at the scene, you little fuck, because you ran her friends off. She won't talk to anybody for more than 10 minutes. Watch her. And all she's doing is sting-opping. I did a sting-op on a cop. I'm looking for corruption. I'm looking for, is he a cop or is he your bitch? I'll find out. And I did it in 10 minutes. I don't need more than 10 minutes. You're seeing things happen you've not seen before. Guess what else happened? The same girl that we alleged was one of your trafficking victims working out of that club that was getting paid a ridiculous amount of money on stage like I've not seen in my life. We look at patterns. We look at the way things are on any given day. Why is it different? Why is it off? We pay very close attention to things most people don't pay any attention to at all. We watch everything going on in that club. And the guys helping me that told me, you said this, David, watch everything you do to me. Everything. Anywhere I go. Anywhere I go. So, I said to this guy that used to work for Joe Chadwick, she's a traffic victim. They're still doing it. Instead of laundering the money on stage, here's how they're laundering it now. They changed it. You know why? I caught it. I did. Me, Chief Hull's granddaughter, I caught your crime. Me. Don't forget who it is you're dealing with. Don't forget who it is you're dealing with. I caught that. So, he said, I said, here's what they're doing. They changed it. They're doing this. You used to be a cop. You put on your cop hat and act like a fucking cop. Figure it out. Because these girls are victims of very serious crime. They're not doing anything wrong. They're victims. Make them safe now. Or are you on the payroll? Are you part of the crime? Do you want to go to jail too? You can. It's your choice. Everybody has choices. You can live with your choice, can't you? You're here to protect these people. So protect them. Guess what? They changed it. That day, they changed it. And we duly noted that for the record, Mr. Perry. You're not fooling anybody. You are not fooling anybody. It is much different when you do it to me. Much different. But it's the same every time you do it. Okay? You're caught when you do it to me. You don't get a date. You don't have a real love life. Nobody's calling. Didn't somebody tell you that a couple of years ago? Did she ever call you or text you and want to see you? No. Okay, then you don't have a real love life, dum-dum. And then you're taking time away from my business and my family for your imaginary something that's not real to her. Doesn't go both ways. If it's not real to both, there is nothing. John Hinckley Jr., you're in love with the TV show. Pathetic. You're a rejected fail. Too stupid to figure out how to move on like everybody else can do. You're inept socially, emotionally, and mentally. And you're taking time away from my business and my family for that. And I don't have that kind of time. And you leave me alone, and you leave her alone. We're all busy, why aren't you? You're pathetic, and you're weak, and you're stupid. So, this is my granddad, David. It's different when you do it to me, because this is how I was raised. By that man right there. Guess what? Look at his name is everywhere. All over that police department. Because he had a similar situation happen, and he did the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And now that is our family legacy. My granddaughter, I may never see my granddaughter. Because you butt into that too. Fine. That little girl is going to be able to live her life without you in it. And this legacy right here is going to be passed on to her. And it's not up to you. When we quote you, is it up to you, David? No, it's not. Is it up to you, Charles? No, it's not. Is it up to you, Lucius? No, it's not. We get that information without your permission. It's not up to you ever. So imagine how hard our guys laugh at you when you start having conversations like you think there's certain things that are up to you, and they're laughing at you. Yeah, it's not up to you. We hear what you're talking about now. She can't live here. She can't live in Albuquerque. Where is she going to live? Oh, wow. They're all laughing. They think it's up to them. We're hearing them talk about it right now. The fact that we hear them is not up to them. So why is it they think, in their delusion, whack job land they live in, that anything is up to them? It's up to us, not them. They're about to get a new home in jail. They're going to have some special accommodations made because even prisoners are repulsed by guys like them, and they will get the fuck beat out of them. They don't like child rapists. They don't like them. Believe me, they'll have to make special accommodations. Child rapists and cop killers. Right? Is that what you are or not? Why don't you tell the court how I lied? Yeah. Oh, we'll get you a tissue. I didn't lie, and you know that. You didn't let me prove my case in court when the burden of proof is on me, because you know I can prove my case in court. Mr. Goodwin, hero of slaves and anti-discrimination, is full of shit. Because human trafficking is slavery, and it's discrimination against women. And he doesn't give a fuck. He chickened out. He didn't do a hearing. He didn't file a motion. He didn't do a hearing. He chickened out. So there goes all that. There's his legacy right there. It doesn't change anything if you lie about it, sir. We know. What court is that? What court is that in? This right here, David? Who got that to me in jail? It's extremely specific to me. Extremely specific to me. I'm talking to Fabian, whose name is on that puzzle. What are the chances, if it was random, that his name would be on that puzzle? because Fabian's a name that is not used that much. Charles is used a lot. Todd, his real name, is used a lot. Fabian is his work name. So, you're the butt in here. Always a wannabe, never wanted. You're told on, and told on, and told on, and that's the best you can do. That's the best you'll ever be. Because you're a hideous, people don't like your cruelty. You're hideous. People are horrified by you. Horrified by you. We're getting help, you're getting told on. So look at this, David. I'm telling him, here's the conversation I had with David Roberson the night you came in and introduced yourself and threatened to murder me. This is a McNamara email I sent my ex-husband. They're threatening a false arrest and to murder me. So I need a protective order. And in Oklahoma, to get a protective order, you must file a report with police. And nobody took my evidence, and you obstructed justice, and you prevented by physical force and delayed the reporting of the crime against you. And it's duly noted for the record, David. It's different when you do it to me, dum-dum. We quote you. You're not quoting me. You're not quoting our guys' meetings, are you? Who are they? Nobody will help you with that. Nobody will help you with that. Charles, no one cares what you think, and you never shut up. How embarrassing. How fucking embarrassing. So they got that to me in jail, and everybody's asking the question. If they got that to her in jail, see, Charles makes everybody sad and scared, and he's just a butt-in. Always a wannabe, and never wanted. Just hold on. Fabian intersects with the word hope. So probability math would tell you that the name Charles and the name Todd would have a greater chance of showing up on a puzzle like this were at random. They got that to me in jail. David, explain how that happened. And who got it to me. How is his name on that intersecting with the word hope? Yeah, you can't explain that, can you, David? You're weak. It's different when you do it to me, and you make yourself even weaker when you act like you don't get that. When you don't get it, that everybody's sick of you, and you're bullying, and you're terrorizing, and you're rape. Can't you get a date the normal way, David? You can't figure out how to get women to like you, so you gotta buy them and sell them and rape them? And you guys got an attorney who's supposed to be anti-slavery and anti-discrimination, only he's not? Not when it comes down to it. The nitty-gritty, here's how you conduct yourself. You go to court against a woman with not a lick of law school, and you don't chicken out. You chickened out. Why? Why? Because you know I can prove my case. You know that. If I couldn't, you would have made sure I was in court. Instead, you kept me out of court. You went duck hunting with Judge Cummings. That's why there's no reason for his dismissals or his denials. You can't do the research if you're out duck hunting with the defendant. Yeah. Okay, so they asked the question, is your Ron Vandersloot talking to her people? And Michael Neely, are they talking to her people? Mr. Perry, every time you ask me questions, you outrage everybody and we get more intel to put you in jail. You have an attorney? Bother your attorney with your questions. Your contact to me is outrageous and sick. Shut the hell up. And get out of my life. Get the hell out of my life, you weirdo. So, I don't know. We're getting help with the information you're getting told on. Stupid. The more you contact me, the more we get. The more you cause problems for me, the more we get. The longer I'm broke and Mike's in jail, the more we get. And they told you that in March 2020, and you said no. And they said, suit yourselves. Yep. Okay. So the deal with Mike, we got all this, Charles. All this. Nobody else has all that. I have it. What's it mean that I have that? Huh? What's it mean that we find out before, David? What does it mean that I have it that's different when you do it to me and that we have it before you do it? This car thing goes way back. I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. You said it in August 2019. We got it. When Charles contacts me, invades my privacy, causes a problem for me, we get more. When you make me broke, we get more. Okay? You're paying for it in ways you haven't had to before. It's 10 years of this, David. Are you that mentally slow? What's your diagnosis? Why do we always have to repeat for you? This is all the shit they've done to my car. They wrecked it 5 times. They threw a brick at me on the freeway, and it cracked my engine in 2. That could have been my skull. They take taillights out more than once to have me pulled over. When I'm talking to anybody, I'm looking for corruption. And I can find out what's going on in 10 minutes. Yeah. Who taught me how to do that? She's been subjected to some major torture, psychological torture. They took her whole family. It's like they're dead. They took everything she owned and everything she worked for and all her everything. And she's fine. She's fucking stronger than ever. I'll get it back when you're in jail. I'm not worried about it at all. We're getting the intel to put you in jail. The more you do to me, the more we get. So yeah, it's hard to lose everything. And it's emotional, especially my family. Because things you can replace, family's different. Now, we got a shit ton of fucked up crap that if we decide to work through it, we're going to have to work through it. It's not going to be easy. They betrayed me. They betrayed my trust. They let you in and shoved me out. So now, they're going to have to apologize for that. Okay? They're going to have to apologize to me for that. They had no right to do that to me. At all. They did not. One of the grand jurors that you had my cousin say, because he said something in front of a grand jury, from what our intel tells us, is it good or bad intel? Is it true or not true? You tell us. He testified something. He said something you didn't like. I have to have him change what he said because I need to tamper with a witness to suborn perjury. Because if I can't get her delivered, I'll lose millions. So you put him back up. And he said, the biggest mistake I made was helping her when she first moved here. And the grand jury was horrified by that. And one of them said, I cannot imagine doing that to my family. My family would not do that. We would work together to get rid of the threat. There's no way they would be so cruel and so callous like her family is. We're not impressed. We're disgusted by what he just said. So, I'm not even, what he said is not credible in my eyes because my family would not be that cold and that callous to do to her what they've done to her. These people are horrible. Maybe she's better off without them. So I don't talk to my family. And you have wanted my cousin that said this, that horrified somebody, and my uncle to try to talk me into being trafficked. And I won't have a thing to do with them because of it. So once you're in jail, we're going to have some things to work through. And it will take a long time to heal that rift that you caused. That would not be were you not here. In a state where you don't live and were not invited. And you've done nothing but terrorize and bully and cause loss and hardship. And everybody's sick of it. And so we get the help, you get told on. Nobody invited you here. No one wants you here. You aren't. Gosh, if I'm accused of stalking, I don't go where the accuser is and refuse to leave. It's not like they're in the same neighborhood and they're running into each other at the same grocery. She's thousands of miles away in a different state. And Mr. Perry goes where the accuser is, refuses to leave, and gets together with her family, whom he shouldn't even know, took it upon himself to I didn't take you around my family. There's no way. There's no way I would take you around my family. You're an alleged cop killer, pedophile, sex offender. So there's no way. You're a job, and no one has caught your crime as much as we have. And it happens when you do it to me. We have to repeat ourselves over and over and over for the slow guy. These were from 2011. He's stalking me. There's no political anything here. Nothing. He's stalking me. I may have to move. Look at the date. Yeah. Imaginary political vendetta, imaginary romance, imaginary all kinds of things. Whack job. How embarrassing. You have to file a police report when you need a protective order, and if somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you probably need one. No evidence was collected. They didn't call me back until I was already in jail because you obstructed justice intentionally because you were trying to kill me and you got caught. So you want to try to frame me for a murder? And you got caught doing that too. Okay. So this was my life before I met you. I was around a lot of very powerful people. Doesn't get any more powerful than him. Okay? Back then, before he died, didn't get any more powerful than Harry Reid. Presidents came and went. He was always still there. By the way, Harry Reid was a Mormon, pro-life, pro-gun rights. Okay? So no one go around going, oh, he became a Democrat. Oh, I didn't become a Democrat. I'm a little bit more libertarian than some Republicans. I think that the less government we have, the better. That's just my... I'm not hardcore libertarian. I'm a little bit libertarian-leaning Republican. I'm very fiscally responsible, fiscally conservative. That means you don't use taxpayer-funded resources like the local cops to facilitate delivery of a trafficking victim, sir. You don't use our courts. You don't use tax dollars so you can make a profit off of the sale of a human, which is illegal. Don't do it. You do it, to me, you fucked. You got caught. Right? Yeah. Why might that be? You know who this is? Sheriff Gutierrez. My granddad was an elected official and the power in the town where I grew up. He's the chief of police, county treasurer, the city councilman. He helped establish the alien museums that has brought millions of dollars into the town of Roswell. We don't believe aliens even exist, much less that they landed in Roswell. But there's curiosity there. That's all that you need, okay? That's my family. That's all the stuff you took. That's all the stuff you took. You get anywhere near me, I'll kick the shit out of you. If I have a motive to murder, it's you, and you're fine. So, I don't go where you are, you go where I am. And if you come where I am, I'll kick the fuck out of you. You'll be in a coma in about 2 seconds. Because I'm angry at what you've taken and what you're doing to those kids at that compound and what you've done to the Neelys and the Millers. I hate your guts. So it wouldn't take a whole lot. Look at this. I'm not a rapist. Oh, yeah, you are. You violate women, so you are. Your attention isn't wanted. You're not hot and sexy. You're not... you just... Ugh. It's your lie. It's your secret. You need to lie, not me. You don't see me calling up my family. Please lie for me. You don't see me going to work. Please lie for me. Because I don't need to lie. You do. Yep. Alright, so... trying to take her car. Then this would be over. No, it would not. When you're in jail, then it's over. You're the one causing the injury. You're the one getting told on. Okay? We get to help. You get told on. I'm trying to find Michael Neely. There we go. Alright, so we have this blog that Lucius want put her in jail and then delete that blog. Then nobody will suspect a thing. Wrong. 12 reporters, 3 not in the U.S. Lucius, so you have no control over those people. When we found out you said that, was it up to you? Nope, was not. I have your name. Us getting your name happened when you got me kicked out of Sky Motel. We got Lucius and Geppetto. We got Calvin's name, Blankenship and Desiree, Richard, and Dickie when you got me kicked out of Chardonnay. So do it one more time, I dare you. It's never up to you. You make yourselves weak when sensitive information gets into the wrong hands. My hands are the wrong hands, dum-dum. That's not what a businessman does. Okay, so we have this. We have the perjury and the fraud. Chapter and verse out. We have the solicitation for prostitution Mr. Perry committed in Oklahoma, where I live. Went to my work and had this man offer $5,000 if I sleep with him. Ew. And I'm like, ew, gross. There's no way. There's no way. That guy creeps me out. He tells me I'm your caretaker. Oh my God. Wow. Look, right here. So 2 hours, you can be creeped out and you can make $5,000. And I said, fuck you. You're off your nut. Not going to happen. I recorded it. It's right here. He asked me 3 times if I was wearing a wire. Now, why would he ask me that? Do you go around talking to people and asking if they're wearing a wire? Is that just part of normal conversation? No, it's not. In a strip club. And we have the Michael Neely thing here. Oops, that's not what I want. We said it before anybody else said it, David. These are the indisputable facts. He has not a mark on him. He just 6 days before took my car vandalism report. Chief Miller said, I believe Mr. Perry's a necrophiliac and that he's sitting around fantasizing about having sex with Cynthia's dead body because he does weird shit living women won't do. So he does it with dead women. Not in my jurisdiction. He has said some very vulgar things about her in Manford. And I'm concerned he's not doing this in my jurisdiction. It wasn't too long and he's dead. And this guy's accused of killing him. Not a mark on him. His hands would look like Chief Miller's face looked, sir. You killed a cop. Allegedly. So how many cops are after your ass? Yeah, I don't know. There's the arrest report. The only injury listed in the arrest report is a red swollen right hand, which has an IV in it. That's why it's red and swollen. Detective stupid. We wrote him an email in January, February, and again in March that says he was drugged and didn't do it. Guess what? Depositions weren't taken until May. How did we know that, David? You're weak. You're pathetic and desperate. You make yourself look guilty. And it's duly noted for the record. So that's why you're trying to frame me for a murder. That's why you want to take my car, and that's why you trafficked me. And we got it. And that doesn't happen with your other victims, does it? But it happened when you did it to me. And it wasn't up to you. All you had to do was leave me alone. That's it. And my guy said in March 2020, after we got this, you get that club full. You got, what'd you get, Charles? You got told on. Who got it? He just typed in my other phone. We got you. We got you. I got you. I can see you. I'm gonna take your car. I made you broke. I got you. Wow. Okay. Okay. And that's why you get told on and we get it. Nobody will help you. We don't ask about leaks, Charles. You do. And that's why people think you need to be in the nut house. Because you act like you think you're getting help. And you're not. We are. We're quoting your meetings. We found out Mike was drugged before they said it. And you think you act like you think it's the other way around. Name one of my guys quote one meeting. Oh yeah, you can't. We don't have leaks, you do. We don't have leaks, Charles, you do. We just caught you again this morning. Now, your delusion is embarrassing and outrageous. Do what you do, princess. Okay? Do what you do. So we got this in May. You don't even make sense. And I'm not wasting any more time repeating myself for you. Get a special education teacher, because I'm not that. You have no date. You have no cover-up. You've not been caught this much in your life. And you are stupid and retarded, and you act like you don't know that. You're held back by your disease. And you're embarrassing yourself, and you don't even know it. There's your shovel. Go dig. You stupid little fuck. So this right here is where they're saying in the depositions in May, months after we said it, he was treated with Narcan for opioid overdose. We found him unresponsive and respiratory distress and dying. He was going to die. So how did the opioids get in his system? He was not treated for being knocked out in a drunken brawl. And I could have said all this in his trial, but that they made sure I didn't testify because they're guilty. If they weren't guilty, they wouldn't do that, Mr. Goodwin. You're an attorney. How would that play out? Normal, if it was normal. If the judge wasn't bought and Gene Mitchell and Travis Myers weren't bought, how would that play out, sir? You're a criminal defense attorney, you're a civil attorney, and you're supposed to be anti-slavery and anti-discrimination, and you're full of shit. And you chickened out and didn't go have a hearing with a woman who has not one day of law school. So you're guilty of murder in the first degree of a police officer, or I would have been in that courtroom to say what I'm saying right now. Now, David, prove I'm lying and that I know I'm lying. Prove it on this. You're weak and you're pathetic. And you are letting a nut job dictate what y'all do. I don't go to the funny farm and ask those people what I should do. Why do you? Why do you? So, when we got that, this detective, when they showed this interview, didn't say, Mike is he's like, I'm looking at my hands, I'm feeling my hands, there's nothing here. I can't believe you. I think you're full of crap. Detective, by the way, I'm also a detective. And I'm not seeing evidence that I was in a fight, much less beat Mr. Chief Miller, my boss, to death. His head was hit back and forth so hard that he died of internal decapitation, strangulation, and blunt force trauma. The ME said it was like he was in a car crash. Does he look like he was in a car crash? No, he doesn't. He doesn't look like he was in a drunken brawl. He wasn't treated for being knocked out in a drunken brawl. He was treated for being opioid drugged. And I said it before anybody else said it. And it wasn't up to you, was it? Don't forget who it is you're talking to, Mr. Perry, when you threaten me. We got you. I can see you. I take your car. I take your money. I make you broke. It's going to snow. Oh, dear Lord. Let's throw out 10 years of work because it's going to snow. You little fucktard. I'm like, oh my. Get the hell out of my phone. You fucktard. Get out of my phone. So we heard David because it pissed my guys off. All right, so Charles is not to contact me. He doesn't even make sense. He's not to peep. He's not to contact me. He's not to bother me. And that's all he does is bother everybody in Oklahoma, where he doesn't live and was never invited. You get caught when you do it to me. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. The guy said in March 2020, get the club full of paying customers, get Mike home to his family. Get him home to his family. She better not be broke. Get Tristan and Fabian up to Oklahoma so they can talk and you butt out, you fucking nosy body Connie. Get out. Get a life, boring. Pathetic little bore. You're creepy and you're weird and you're caught when you do it to me. So they were like, no. And suit yourselves. After that, we got Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Sonjay, Blankenship, Betancourt, Desiree, Andrew Lawrence, James Rubin, Richard Dickey, Larry Tim, Houston Compound. Because you said no. And we said suit yourself. You don't contact me, you don't invade my privacy, and I'm not to be broke, or you're fucked. You've called around. Name one of my guys, quote one of their meetings, Lucius. Oh yeah, you can't. Nobody will help you. They're helping us, not you. We don't run around going who leaked. We don't have leaks. Your crime is offensive, Lucius. David. And the other mafia guy, you don't want sensitive information like that get in the wrong hands. And if every time someone is broke or bothered, it gets into the wrong hands, you make sure that person broke or bothered again. That would happen one time. I'm a businessman, and I don't do business with sex perverts. They can't control themselves. They've got weirdo urges, and they have no control over it. It's pathetic. They increase your value and hers and decrease theirs every time she quotes them. Every time you get more. And guess what? We don't put all of it out that we have. We don't. We don't have to. They have to tell you how they got it. I don't have to tell you how I got it. There's no constitutional requirement of that at all. Ever. They don't have to tell you how they got it to me. But you're peeping, Tom. You can talk to police on the phone, and you know that. All right, so when this detective is talking to Officer Neely, and Neely's like, I don't have any injuries on me that look like I was in a fight, so I don't believe you. I think you're full of crap. I'm a detective too, by the way. The man doesn't say, well, you got injuries here, 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 and here, so it appears you beat him to death. He says, it appears he was beat to death. Like I'm a Gomer Pyle. Finger paint cop. You got to get the finger paints and stuff out. For me, because I'm slow. Okay, Martinez. We'll keep that in mind. And it can and will be used against you in a court of law. A different one. Where we're getting Charles and David on all the fraud and all the perjury. And this is now court number 4 that I'm kept from being in. When I could have offered testimony that was exculpatory and would get him home. We told you, get him home. And you said no. Suit yourselves. Blankenship, Desiree, Richard, Dickey, Betancourt, Lucius, Calvin, Geppetto, Sonjay, Beverly, Greg, Tim, Larry, Tim and his transponder. The fucking thing doesn't work every time he kidnaps someone. The transponder doesn't work. So no one knows where he's taking the victims that are kidnapped. And he's tried to kidnap me. What he told Charles, I guess, between this summer when they fucked up my school and we started getting information on the Houston compound. You get that woman, throw her in a van, take her to my plane, make her sign the fucking affidavit, and get her to Houston, where we can deliver her and get all of our money, and then give her ex-husband his $25,000. And there's a list of people that are supposed to be paid. It's going to cost me millions if I don't get her delivered. So make her cousin lie. And that backfired. Because that grand jury was horrified by what he said. Which was what you told him to say, wasn't it? All they had to do was come tell me he's calling us. Here's what he's telling us to do. To you. Scripts and role-playing. Corky loves that, we heard. Your scripts and your role-playing. I'd have picked it up and thrown it in your face and walked out. But they should have called me. And they should have said, here's what he's doing. And then we would have called you right there as a group, as a family, a whole family. Put you on speakerphone. Don't fucking call us again. But when you do, we get more information like this before you do it, not after. That was in March 2020. Depositions weren't taken until May. Guess what? This was not put on the docket in May. It wasn't put on the docket until June or July. So who told us, Charles, that you guys drugged Mike? Do we know? Did Lucius beat Chief Miller? Was it you, Lucius, that beat him back and forth so hard his head came off his body? Was it you that did that? If we know that, is it up to you that we know that? No, it wasn't. Who are you? It ought to make you shit yourself that I have your name. And so if it doesn't, you're not all there. Point out for me the marks on this man that looks like he was in a fight. You didn't hear Detective Stupid say, here's your injuries. It looks like you beat him to death. His hands would look like Chief Miller's face looked. Stupid. You look weak and pathetic, David. Okay, so we got... I guess I will finally hear what you have to say. I've asked you before, how did you know Mike had to be Hansel and Greteled or begged to go so we could kill him? How'd you know that we asked him? And by the way, we have your subpoena, so we know you're a witness. I'm going to tamper with you anyway. A blatant defiance of the law. Blatant, Mr. Perry. They spoofed an account, a Facebook account. All right, so we got all that. I'm feeling my hands. They don't feel anything, I mean, I don't understand. Because you're lying to me. It's not making sense. And I'm a detective, sir. And the guy, well, it appears he was beat to death. I'm a hillbilly. Country bunkin'. If I had been in that courtroom, David, Lucius, Calvin, Charles, the outcome would have been completely different. You intentionally concealed a material fact that would have changed the outcome. Because if that jury heard me talk, he'd be home right now, and you know that. And that's court case number 4, that you intentionally kept me from testifying. You suborned perjury by concealment. And then you tried to do it again in the traffic court case. We were ready to go to court and have a mini criminal trial for Mr. Perry in traffic court for pulling me over. And I sting up the cop to see if he's corrupt, and I found out what I wanted to know in 10 minutes. So I don't talk to anybody for more than 10 minutes. Don't need to. I don't need to. So who taught me how to do that? Huh? How much do I know before? Before I ever walk into work, how much do I know before I walk in there, and then I don't say what you want me to say and I don't do what you want me to do? You tell us. Right? Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. You get her a club full of paying customers. You make sure she makes money and quit telling customers to buy from everybody but her. Because you're pissing everybody off. Everybody. You don't have the right to interfere with commerce. Not anyone's commerce. You get Tristan and Fabian up to talk to her and you butt out. It doesn't concern you, Connie. Don't invade her privacy. Don't take her money. Get Michael Neely home and get the fuck out of her life. And you said no, and we said suit yourself. And we got all this stuff nobody else has. We got it. Because you said no, and we said suit yourselves. And we got all that, Mr. Perry, Mr. Roberson, before you did it, not after. Shoe prints, names. Look at that. Gabe and Jacob also. We got their names. Wasn't up to you, was it? No, it was not. Beverly's name. Look at that. Judge Parker, Judge Egan. There's no jurisdiction for a Texas court because the injuries are in Oklahoma. She's in Oklahoma, and Mr. Perry's in Oklahoma. Nobody's in Texas. So, the law, yeah. You know what I would do if I was accused of stalking? Stay the fuck away from the accuser. What does Charles do? Goes to a whole different state, thousands of miles from where he lives, and refuses to leave where the accuser is. Who the fuck does that? Stupid. Someone who's really stupid. I didn't pick a fight with you, David. I didn't pick a fight with you, Lucius. I didn't pick a fight with you, Calvin. I don't know you people. I don't give a fuck about you. But you're a job, and I'm really good at what I do. Really, and 10 minutes is all it takes for me. And I'm going to get exactly what I want, and you're not going to get shit. I've been doing it for 10 years. Can't believe she's so strong after all the psychological torture. And it is hard to lose what you have, but I know I'm going to get it back when you're in jail. And I won't have to repeat myself anymore. This is when we got Calvin's name. Dated 2/9. We can't get her kicked out for non-payment, so it'll have to be smoking. Now you're trying to do noise complaint, aren't you? We heard you talking about that. Get her yelling so we can get her kicked out on a noise complaint. For a bunch of hillbillies. Nobody will suspect a thing. Okay. Then she did try on the 15th. Calling about smoking. Chardonnay Apartments. Nobody else suspect a thing. And yet we got all that. Look at all this. Every day we quote you, you're not quoting us. We have your people's names. You don't have ours. Get the club full of paying customers. Cynthia is not to be broke. Get out of her privacy. Quit contacting her and her family. They don't like it. Stay away from them. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Get the fuck out. Don't bother her. Don't make her broke. Don't break the law. Get some class, get some dignity, and comply with the law. Because if you don't, I'm going to kick your ass like it's not been kicked before. Ever. What I like to do is cause problems for criminals. I'm a cop. That's what I do. That's what my guy said. And you said, no. Okay, suit yourselves. And this morning, last night, they're talking about taking go get her car from her work. Why didn't you get her car? And then this is over. Well, I can't get on the property without her seeing it. We heard you talking about it. Wasn't up to you, David. Pray more for the murderer. I can't, David. Listen, David, we've been over this. I can't do that. I can't make your lie work. Because you ran off her friends, so I can't put her at any party ever. She doesn't socialize. You ruined our friendships. You ruined every relationship she has. So there's nobody that can tell us, we're friends, we hung out, here's what we did, and we went to this party together. I don't know who was even at the party. I have no idea. I don't party. Haven't for years. I used to be very, very social, and everybody knows that. Our shrink looked through the emails and the texts and stuff, and she said you can tell when she met Charles, because here she's got all these Facebook posts with her friends love her, and all these emails and Facebook messages, and her friends love her, and all these texts. You can tell she was very loved, had a lot of good friends. All of a sudden that stopped. Same thing with her family. Just stopped. Second she met him. And nobody will suspect a thing. We're all a bunch of mental slows. Nobody will know. Yep, that's wrong. They do. They know. Who knows? Yep. When we find out, it's not up to you. Never up to you. When we got all that, wasn't up to you, was it? Lucius, it wasn't up to you when we got all that. That's the thing to my, what is that? My cousin. She was supposed to go for Christmas, and she texted and said she didn't have any gas money, and not one member of her family called her and said, why don't you have gas money? What's going on? I'll cash app you some. Get your ass out here and spend Christmas with your family. They just haven't talked to him since. In that time, not one of her family members called to even check on her. She's living in her car in a Walmart parking lot, and nobody checked on her. They're having dinner with the man that did that to her. And no one checked on her, and she's not eaten for days. Who the fuck does that? That's the stuff you can't replace. That's the stuff you ruined that you are paying for. When we quote you, it will cost you everything you have. When you do it to me, you're going to lose everything you have. And our guys told you that. You give it back, and you get out. And you don't threaten her, and you don't bribe her. If you want to give her some, give back what you took. Otherwise, you don't have to do that, but what you do have to do, get the fuck out of her life. We can seek restitution. We got her back. We got her covered. Okay? If you want to give it back, we'll ask for mercy, but the judge does not have to give it to you. So you need to know that up front. There are no guarantees. You definitely won't get mercy if you don't give it back, but that's your choice. There's no pressure. What the pressure is you do have to comply with the law, and you do have to get out of her wallet and stop stealing from her, because I promise you, we write down every penny you take. We're going to charge you with coercion. The act is interfering with commerce. Calvin, you're in trouble for that. So, you do what you do. There's your shovel, dig away. They're all, no, we're gonna, all right, suit yourselves. And then y'all run around. How'd she find out about that? Oh my God, how'd she know? It's never happened before. Yeah, it has, actually, every day for 10 years. I mean, we're at a loss. Who the hell is that slow, Mr. Perry? Calvin, Lucius? Who's that slow? That you can't spot a pattern after 10 motherfucking years. That's what you make everybody do, Charles. Gag. Every time you contact me, that's what I do. Gag. Ugh. Gross. This guy's just disgusting. He's just fucking gross. It's just, he's got Huntington's. You're creepy as fuck. Look at this. After March 2020, when you guys said, no, suit yourselves. 75 screenshots of what we got before you did it, not after. 75 screenshots. And that's not the half of it, David. And it wasn't up to you, Lucius, or Calvin, or Bettencourt. And if I have your name, that ought to make you shit yourself. And yet it doesn't, does it? Nope. This movie is very good. It's about human trafficking, about how women get beaten and raped so you can make money. Billions of dollars are poured into fighting that crime. Right? Do you not know that? Billions.
That's okay.
Billions of dollars are poured in. There's my grades. While I'm going through all this stuff, I make a 3.6. But they called the teacher and said, don't grade her homework, just fail her. We got a traffic delivery deadline. We don't want her getting her student loan money that's due right now after she passes your class. So make sure she doesn't pass your class. I didn't fail. You made me fail. Crisis management. That was when we had the storm in Tulsa that knocked out the electricity. That's a crisis. I'm a victim of attempted trafficking. Another crisis. And that's how they teach you at University of Phoenix to deal with it. So I'm done with University of Phoenix. Their name will not be on my diploma. There will be a diploma and there will be a college on it. It won't be them. They're not good enough. They're your bitches. Right? Allegedly. Yeah. So I had 5 courses left. I solved that. Don't forget it was me. I'm catching your crime. Don't forget it was me. I caught the trafficking going on in my club. I don't talk to the owner about it. There's nothing he can do. It's a law enforcement matter. He doesn't need to be involved in it. There's nothing he can do about it anyway. So I've not spoken to him about it. He cannot do anything. I literally can't do a fucking thing about it. Walk over and go, are you being human trafficked? Are you? No. Okay. I mean, how's he going to prove anything? He can't. But you know who can? Law enforcement. So, yeah. But when you guys run around going, how does he know? How does he find out about that? We did say, don't do it to me. Don't invade my privacy. Don't contact me or my family. I'm not to be broke. I don't go home on a Saturday with $30, Charles, because you'll pay for it all week with intel. You know why? Infiltrators get pissed off. Leagues get pissed off. My guys get pissed off. The judge signing investigatory orders gets pissed off. You're pissing off the wrong people. So there's that. And so we're, when you guys are like, yeah, this is my favorite run right here. Because they run around, how'd you find out? That never happened before. And we're like, it has. Every day for 10 years when you do it to me. And that's how you look right there. We're just like, oh my God. So easy, it's not fair. So this is our disclaimer. Apply the but for. You're the causation of a whole lot of shit. You provoke and you antagonize and you terrorize and you horrify. And that's what cops are supposed to do when they get a stalking report. Not what TPD did. Let's hand it right over to the offender so he can obstruct justice and tamper with evidence. Yep. And this is about how stalkers use technology like hacking or cloning a phone to stalk. Human traffickers stalk the victims. They think they're slaves, Mr. Goodwin. I thought you were against slavery. I guess not. Okay, so here's all the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Believe me, all the victims are really concerned about Mr. Perry and Mr. Roberson, that it's allegedly. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck.